All right, today we are here for your high-level strategies to double your sales and more. I'll be sharing the insights I've gained in 10 over years of mentoring work, helping sales advisors break through in their sales performance, especially financial advisors. All right. I look forward to share many insights with you today. Okay, the outline that I gave you today is basically talking about the fact that it is something of a secret that not many sales advisors understand as far as performance is concerned. Possibly even top producers. Okay, why do I say that? I say that is because for you to really benefit from anything that you learn, you must be able to make sense of what is being shared with you. All right. Very often we feel that the top producers are not sharing their secrets. Is that your experience as well? All right, but what I would like to say that that's not exactly true. All right. Achieving high sales performance simply means that you can do it, you can perform. It doesn't mean that you know exactly what allows you to perform, to achieve the results that you have. You know what I'm trying to say? You just perform. So if you are a top producer, you are a super producer, you are a top achiever, and you have the ability to get sales in, what it simply means is that it is like part and parcel of you, and you do it naturally, without second thought, right? And somehow you just get the results in, and the people around you will be wondering, how do you actually get the results in? What is your secret, right? But to you, the top producer, you will be telling them there's no secret. Just do, just work. Okay. And what I want to say is that the reason why you say that is because it is second nature to you, the top producer. But it is not second nature to the average producer or the one who is learning how to do the kind of performance that you are doing. All right. And because as a super producer, you do it so naturally, it never occurred to you that there are some things that you are doing exactly right. And because it didn't occur to you, you will not share those things when you are invited to talk, to share. And when you get to share all the fundamental stuff that you're used to sharing, whether is it to work hard, to set a goal, to plan, so on and so forth, to be committed, to believe in what you do, these are the very things that everybody else already know. And because of that, many of the sales advisors out there will simply feel that you are not sharing. And then they will conclude that you will not share, because why? Why should you share your secret? You know what I'm trying to say? So there's simply a mismatch in the communications. And through this webinar, I want to reveal the real reason why, as a top producer, you have not been able to successfully communicate to the people you are trying to help, so to speak. It's not that you don't want to help, remember, it's that you are not getting to them. They do not understand you. Okay? And as far as you being the average or advisor who is seeking your breakthrough, this webinar seeks to help you to understand why you have been struggling, the real reason, and why is it that you could not understand the speakers, the top producers, the super producers sharing whenever you hear one at agency, industry meeting, so on and so forth. And after a while, you will actually feel like they're saying the same things. And you actually get tired of it. Okay? So if this is you who is having the same experience, wanting to break through, but having difficulty, having challenges to really know how to do it, this webinar is for you. All right? So let me introduce myself. My name is Leonard, and I'm the creator of the Sales Mastery System, the formula to selling easily and effectively in a one-to-one situation. All right. This system is a system that is used in my mentoring facilitation to help our mentees outperform themselves. All right, to break through to the next level, to uncover the real reason why they are not performing, and then to do the things that allow them to perform at a high level. All right. Legacy is my company. We've been doing mentoring coaching for the last 10 over years. Our mission is to inspire and affirm excellence in sales and human development. All right, just to give you an insight, Eileen said that like the coach of a sports superstar, Leonard will help you propel to your next level of achievement. After I had been through nearly 2 mentoring sessions with him, I was not only able to discover my major blind spots in my sales career, but recover fully the equivalent amount of his fees in first year commissions. All right. So just to give you an idea of what mentoring and coaching can do for you. I'm fortunate to be invited to News Radio 938 a total of 3 times as their guest speaker, talking about mentoring and developing your inner man for peak performance. All right, simply sharing my insights and inspiration that I've gleaned through many years of learning and helping the mentees in our program. All right, so basically the insight to the inner man condition that helps a producer or hinders a producer. So to bring the awareness to people so that you, once you are aware, you can begin to make changes in areas that you need to. Okay, so a little bit more about myself. These are the many sessions that I've conducted over the last 10 over years, and I have the privilege of sharing with top producers, interviewing them, giving keynote speeches, conducting small group sessions, facilitations, learning for the people, helping people to see their blind spots, interviewing top producers, and all these is part and parcel of the mentoring and coaching work that I've been doing. All right. So very quickly, this Tony Gordon at my first $1 Million Roundtable achievement, and I had the opportunity to meet up with him several times. Roger Zina is a top big sales specialist. Pardon the pictures, the quality of the pictures, because it's pictures taken from long ago, and it is actually it is taken with a camera from their photo album. John Kennery, Anthony Campolo, Dennis Whitley, Kinder Brothers, John Maxwell. So the reason why I basically end up doing my mentoring work, I believe, is because of my passion in learning, and of course later in life, my passion to uncover things and the reason why some people are performing and some are not. So it starts with myself when I went into the insurance financial planning industry, and I think probably being average for 3 years before I finally did my $1 Million Roundtable. And even though I do my $1 Million Roundtable, it is not a smooth journey for me. I mean, not even talking about the prior 3 years, which I so-called struggled to achieve. Not that I didn't sell, I was able to sell, but I was probably doing about half of $1 Million Roundtable. But even after I've achieved $1 Million Roundtable, I failed the next year to achieve it again, only to do it another year. All right. And in the process of all these, I met up and consulted gurus like Tony Gordon, Guy Baker, and all the opportunities to meet up with the gurus like you have seen in the photos. All right. So I seek every opportunity to look out for these experts, to really pick their brains and learn from them. All right. I believe it is my passion for learning that lead me to do this. And later on, I end up doing mentoring work. I believe it's because it is just a process of learning. You will reach a point in your learning where you feel that you know so much more. all right? And and when you know so much more, then you can really contribute to more people around you, especially when you see that they do not understand many things, causing their struggles, causing their problems. Okay, which actually happens to me when I was in a new company at one time and got to know some new friends, and I mix around with the people and I get to talk to them. And after a while, I begin to realize that many good people are struggling. They are nice people. They are good people. They want to help their clients. They want to do well. They want to do good, but they are really struggling. And when I talk to them, I begin to realize that not only are they struggling, they really have no clue as to why they are struggling. All right? They probably think that they have done everything that they know, work hard, try to be committed, believe in what they do, have a plan, so on and so forth. But somehow or other, they just do not know the reason why they are stuck. Right? But when I was talking to them, I began to realize that actually it's very clear to me why you are stuck. Why can't you see? Okay? And it took me a while of interacting with different people and helping them. That I not only started my mentoring program, helping my first mentee to achieve her $1 million round table as we work together. Not only to help them to perform, but I begin to realize that there are things that's holding people back without their knowing, without their knowledge. All right. And basically what this means is that they are not aware that there's an enemy within them, so to speak, stopping them, hindering them, preventing them from achieving the goals, the desires that they want to achieve. Okay, so to cut a long story short, after 10 over years, I've helped many people to perform $1 million round table, from convention to $1 million round table, even from $1 million round table to almost COT to TOT, top 5, top 50 in AIA Singapore, top 5 in Financial Alliance, top 2 in AIA, top 14 in Prudential, so on and so forth. All right. So as long as you follow the framework that we use in our coaching mentoring program, you will begin to realize and see those hindrances, those things stopping you from getting to your goals, to getting to your desires. All right. And in so doing, you will then be able to double your sales, triple your sales, quadruple your sales, whatever amount according to what you want, as long as you are willing to put the ideas, the strategies, the high level strategies that we are talking about into action, into your own life. Okay? So that is the reason why we do mentoring. And although I've not been really active in a while, what I want to do is I want to build coaches right now to expand the group. And in so doing, I also need to help more people, especially with the world that we are in right now. I want to reach people online. I want to help more people. I want to really share the sales mastery system that has been helpful to all those who have come before. Okay, so that's about me. Okay, let's find out a little about you. Which of these are your motivation? Okay, what I'm going to do is to flash out some slides over here, and I want you to think through as you see the slides and ask yourself, does this motivate me? All right, why do I need to do this? Even before we talk about the so-called the main topic today. All right, without motivation, there is no reason to do anything. Is that correct? All right. So what I want to say is that you must have a driving force to allow you to go out there and conquer and win. And this is what we are talking about here. Is autonomy important to you? What is autonomy? Autonomy basically is like freedom to do the things you want to do when you want to do? Is this important to you? All right. How can you have autonomy? Obviously, if you have success, if you have time freedom, if you have financial freedom, and you have freedom in emotional freedom, all right, in important areas of your life, you probably have autonomy, all right, which means that success in your sales is an important area as well. On the other hand, if you are struggling, then you will have a problem. You are no more free, all right? Does money motivate you? What can money do for you? Do you have enough uh, to enjoy the life that you want, or do you have insufficient? How does your sales help you to earn more money? What about overcoming the challenge? Do you face challenges in your work, within your company, within the industry? What challenge do you face? What what place does it have in your life? Is it a priority? Is it important to you to overcome the challenge that you have? What about beating the competition? Is it important to you? Do you have competition? What kind of competition? Is it important that you are able to beat the competition? What about moving up the social ladder? Uh, Maybe to a higher net worth, mixing around with different kind of people. Is this important to you? Or maybe not. What about leadership? Is it important that you become a better leader, to contribute, to do more, to serve, to give? Is it important to you? Does it motivate you? What about personal growth? Is self-actualization important to you? If you have taken care of all the rest of the needs, according to Abraham Maslow, is personal growth, ultimately self-actualization, important to you? Why is it important to you? What about $1 million round table? Is this recognition important to you? Why is it important to you? Does it drive you? What about more sales, double, triple, quadruple your production? Do you see that as important to you? Does it drive you? Being the best that you can be, express yourself fully. Self-expression. Is this important to you? To be who you want to be, to live the life that you want to live. Okay? So as you look through all those slides, I'm sure you have an idea of what motivates you more than the rest. Okay? So bear that in mind and use that to your advantage, because you are going to need that in order to move to your next level. All right. Some other questions that I have for you will be these: What have been your sales experience and results so far? How long have you been in sales advisory? What are you really dissatisfied with? What's stopping you from the outcomes you want? What is it you really want? How have you tried to improve your results? All right. So take a moment to ponder on this. And we do not probably have the opportunity to really discuss this and get a answer from you. Unlike in my inner circle session, whereby when my guests are invited down, they are normally given the chance to share, which is important. You see, because learning takes place in you, in your head, in your heart, in your mind, in your understanding. And for you to achieve a breakthrough, you must receive the understanding. You must be able to make sense of it. You must get the aha, the revelation, so to speak, the answer, to see the reason why you have been stuck, why you have not been able to break through. Okay? And because of that, you have to answer these questions seriously yourself. The more you know the answers, the clearer you become. And once you're able to see the reason that is stopping you, you will begin to change your results. Okay. At this juncture right now, I will share with you 3 stories, and I want you to think about the lessons learned, the moral of the story. Okay, as you remember your motivation, as you remember some of the questions that we talk about, and get an insight into your situation. Okay, the first story is about Tony Gordon. Okay, you may know that Tony Gordon is a guru in the insurance industry for many years before he retired to do training. And like what I mentioned earlier, in my years as an advisor, I always seek out gurus, speakers, experts to learn from them, read their books, speak to them if I can. So there was this time that Tony was invited by the company to come share their as a platform speaker. All right. And during the tea break, I went up to him, and that was after my first $1 million roundtable experience, where I attended the first time orientation. And Tony is also on the stage at that meeting with 2 other top of the table producers. Right? And what happened during that time when I was at the orientation is that being first time or attendees, you are seated with a top of the table producer as the moderator for the table, all right? But all of us are listening to Tony and the other 2 speakers sharing. As I was seated there, there was, of course, a lot of talking and paying attention to the talk as well. But I heard the moderator say something, and it goes something like this, right? He says something to that effect. He says, I wonder how these people do. Okay, I wonder how these people do. All right, so I suppose he's talking about how Tony Gordon do his production, how the other 2 experts, I think the other guy is Sid Friedman, and then another lady. He's wondering loudly how these people achieve their performance. So can you imagine what is in my mind at the moment? When I hear him say that, immediately I think along this line. I say, aren't you a top of the table producer? Aren't you a top of the table producer? Because he's the moderator for the group because for the table. And when you make statement like, I wonder how these people do, what are you trying to talk about? How much did they really do? All right. So my conclusion must be that, they must have done so much more than top of the table for a top of the table member to make such a statement. All right. So coming back to the story, at tea break after Tony's talk, I went up to him, introduced myself again, told him that I heard him at the $1 million roundtable convention, and then went on to ask him, trying my luck. So actually, Tony, how much do you actually do? I'm trying to get a number, all right, to understand really what his performance is really at. Well, he didn't really answer my question. He just said, more than the criteria. He just tell me something like that. Okay, but that's not the real reason why I'm asking him. This is just a rapport question. Okay, the real reason I went up to him is to seek his opinion on something that has been troubling me during that time. Okay, what happened is that during that time, many people in the industry, okay, I'm talking about, I think even before year 2000, that was a long time ago. But during that time, if you are still around during that time, you would have known that many of the things that we have today, the credentials, the qualifications, the upgrading, the academic requirements are all different. Okay, and it is during the time that that thing came about, and everybody is trying to get another title, pass another exam, right? Whether it's a CFP, AFC, AFP, CLU, CHFC. Okay, so certainly all these are commonplace today, right? And it is fantastic. But during that time, it is not commonplace. During that time, only a handful of people are seen with these titles, right? But because of the industry changes, I see everybody scrambling, running around to get all these titles. So this is a main question that I asked Tony. And I asked Tony what he thinks about what the landscape is in Singapore during that time. That is my main question to him. How he feel about the changing landscape and how he see the people all scrambling to get the titles, the credentials. He looked at me and he said, "Can you ask me during Q&A time after my talk is over on the stage?" I have to say yes. So, cut the story short, my turn came. I asked the same question. This is his answer. First words out of his mouth. All right. He said, it is rubbish. Okay. Don't be offended. Don't react to this. After all, he's the guru. But let's understand why he's trying to why he say that. He said it is rubbish, and then the next statement that he made is, it is for people who cannot sell. And then he went on to elaborate that if you need a title behind your name, it is not a good sign to your sales ability, strictly speaking. Okay, I don't think he is against titles, and I believe he has a reason to say what he say. But I was happy in a sense to hear his answer, because that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Okay, but I'm sure you can imagine in the crowd that day of probably a few thousand, I think there will be many who are unhappy with what he's saying. In fact, there was one lady I remember seated somewhere near the front, put up her hand and start to question him and ask a lot of tough questions. I'm sure that is just one reaction that he's getting. But I'm glad to say that Tony explained all the questions with all the complexities in such a simple manner that probably blows us away. And I think that is the reason why he's so outstanding. And that is the reason why he's able to perform way, way, way beyond top of the table and make such an impact for this industry. Okay. So let's try to recollect what Tony says. He says, he says it is rubbish, and he says that it is rubbish and it is for people who cannot sell. So really, what is he trying to say? What is he trying to say? Anybody like to contribute? Feel free to type in the chat. All right. What I want to suggest is that the way Tony Gordon sees selling is very different from many of us. How he see and understand how sales is done, how top performance is achieved, is very different from the rest of us who are struggling, average, or even at a performance that we are happy to be at, because he's really at a different league. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. The second story I want to tell you is about Bob Proctor. Let's finish up the story and then we see whether we can learn much more as we consolidate all the learning. Bob Proctor, of course, is the guru for the law of attraction. The ex-fireman who became a great teacher, who is earning so much more right now, making such an impact to the self-development world. If you are a student of self-development, you must have known his work. There was one time when I heard him share that he worked with many top management companies. He worked with many companies, and the top management of the companies are always telling him the same thing. And what is the same thing? The same thing is that they will know who the top producer will be even before the year ends. All right? The only thing is they do not know why. It's always the same people. They do not know why it's always the same people. Before the year is going to be over, they know who the top producer is. In fact, I think at the start of the year, they will already know who the top producers will be. Okay, the only issue is they do not know why. Okay, so what Bob Proctor is trying to share with his audience is what? What is the lesson that we can learn here? The top performance and the people who achieve it consistently can be a great mystery. It is so difficult to understand. Why is it that the same people keep performing, and then for the rest of the people, they are either average, struggling, or just maybe just so-called successful, not outstanding, not extraordinary. To be number one, to be amongst the top, you have to be extraordinary. You have to be outstanding, not just successful. I'm sure you can appreciate that. Okay, so it is a mystery, and remember that in your mind, even as we talk about the third story, and then afterwards we try to put everything together for you to understand how you can tap into high-level strategies for your breakthrough, your sales breakthrough, and your peak performance. Okay, so the third story is about a corner-of-the-table producer and a top-of-the-table producer story. What happened is I know a corner-of-the-table producer during my selling days, and we used to talk quite a bit to exchange ideas, to inspire, motivate each other, learn, and all that. And that very morning, he was invited to share to his company their quarterly meeting, which is very normal, right? Top producers are always invited to share to the company. And that's what the company likes to do. Always feature their top to hopefully motivate the rest of them and create an event out of it. During his sharing, I was in the audience with many people. Some of them are my friends. And I heard people talking during his sharing, as he was sharing, those who were seated around me. And it goes something like this. Why is he sharing all this, Set a goal, focus, believe in what you do, see 3% a day, be committed to what you do. Why is he sharing such things? I mean, we all know all this, what? Isn't it? I'm sure you know too. Okay? Then the murmuring start to get louder, and the next thing I heard was people saying, he will not share the real things, the real secret as to why he's performing. Why would he share? That's his secret. Okay? So you can understand what I'm saying, I'm sure, right? So Fast forward, that same afternoon, I happened to get a call from him. And so coincidentally, I mean, because I was telling you that we do talk quite a bit during that time. And when I got a talk, when I got a call, for whatever reason, he started to rattle off and start to tell me his experience listening to a TOT producer at an at a seminar earlier. And I'm a good listener, so I listened as he started to share. And what happened was uh, he went on to say that the top of the table producer start to, let me turn on this. He went on to share that the top table producer draw some circles, say some things, and then very easily close the sale. And he went on to say and make statements like, you know, he won't share. Why? Because why will he share? That's his secret. It cannot be just a few circles, say a few things, and then he close the sale. So can you imagine when I heard that, what happens? I tell him what I heard in the morning when he was sharing. All right. And I told him that when you were talking about all those things, the people are saying this. And then someone said, why would you share? Because that's your secret. And when I say that, there was a pause, as you can imagine. And then suddenly at the other end came the answer. And he said, that means they didn't catch it. That means they didn't catch it. They didn't get what I'm trying to say. And as soon as he said that, there was another pause. Because remember earlier when he was rattling off to me, he was telling me exactly the same thing about the top of the table producer and his experience in trying to learn from him. And the fact that he couldn't believe that it is so simple for him. Okay? All right, so what is the moral of the story? I hope I didn't lose you. But what is the moral of the story? As you think about Tony Gordon saying rubbish, it is for those who cannot sell. As you think about Bob Proctor, about his experience with top management saying that they know who will perform, but they just do not know why they are always the same one. And as you consider this COT and TOT story, and why the color table producer say that they didn't get what I'm trying to say, and at the same time, he was not able to understand what the top of the table producer is saying. Are you able to form the jigsaw puzzle? Are you able to see the pattern that is revealing itself? Okay, I want to suggest that these patterns are not easily seen, and that is the reason why it is not easily understood. And because it is not easily understood, many people end up continuing doing what they are doing without realizing the lessons within. And you know the saying, as long as you continue to do the same things over and over again, you cannot expect to get a different result. Okay, so let's move on and to see and get a better idea as to the jigsaw puzzle. Let's form the jigsaw puzzle for you in this webinar today. If you can understand this, you will begin to get an insight into the high-level strategies that we are talking about. Okay, so the next question, okay, so bear in mind as we talk about this next thing. What is your CPU? I'm not referring to your computer. all right? But as in a computer, the better the CPU, the higher specs you have in your CPU, the faster is your computer, the more efficient or better or more powerful, right? So what I want to ask you is, what is your CPU? If you have a powerful CPU, congratulations. You will begin to see more of the jigsaw puzzle that we are talking about. You will begin to see the lessons that's happening every day around you, even in the 3 stories that we talked about just now. All right? If you have a more powerful CPU, you will be able to do that. But on the contrary, if your CPU is not powerful, you will consistently be struggling. All right. So let's get your CPU up today at this webinar. All right. So the first thing you need to do to get your CPU up is from the letter C. So what is the letter C? What does it represent? Okay. This is basically very important. Without this, there is no power in your life. You have no, and you are not empowered. You don't feel powerful because you lack this thing. Right? You cannot see clearly. You will be more confused than clear. And it is so important, a successful ingredient in the achievement of a top producer. So you must seek this quality in order for you to make a true difference in the result that you are hoping to get. So what is that C? All right, clarity. Clarity is power. Clarity is power. Are you clear? Are you clear about everything you are about, or you do, or you have in your life? If you talk to a top producer, they are clear, very clear. Whether is it their goals, whether is it their ambition, whether is it their motivation, whether is it their mastery, meaning how they do certain thing, how they close, how they open a sale, how they prospect, how they talk to people, how they influence. Every single thing about them has this quality, right? But on the other hand, if you talk to someone who is struggling or just average, you will notice that the clarity is greatly different. It's obviously different. They are not sure, all right? It's something like this, or I'm not exactly sure or clear about that, so on and so forth. Okay, so if you do not have this quality, you will have a lot of challenges to be a top producer, to double your productivity, to double your sales. All right. So to implement high-level strategies for yourself, to have your sales breakthrough, you must seek this first important quality, which is clarity. All right. So what is the second quality? Represented by P. Okay, this quality basically refers to your frame of reference in the world today, in your life today. Okay, everything that you believe in, everything that you think about, you feel about, and take action upon is fundamentally first based on this quality. It is your filter to the world. The world may be as it is, but your filter to the world determines how you see it, whether is it gloomy or whether is it joyful, whether is it victorious and freedom, or whether is it defeat and misery. Okay, so what is that P? It's perspective. It's perspective. It's important for you to get good perspective with regards to everything in your life, including your sales, and everything related to it. It is about how you see those things. If you can see rightly, you will begin to perform rightly and achieve rightly, giving you the right results that you are looking for. But if your perspective is distorted, and the worst part is that you don't even know that it's distorted, or you do not know that it's disempowered, and you have that perspective bringing you throughout your life. Not only your sales will be affected, your personal life and everything else under your sphere of influence will be affected because you bring your perspective to it. So it's very important to have an empowering perspective versus a disempowering perspective. Okay, whichever perspective you have is the perspective that will show you the way forward and lead you either to your promised land or to the desert. Okay, so first of all, you need clarity. Second of all, you need perspective. And finally, what does the you represent? Okay, the you is fundamentally the key to achieving these two other qualities. Without the you cannot get the empowering perspective. You cannot get clarity in your sales career, in your life. And that's the reason why you will begin to ask questions and not getting the answers. Okay? And that is the reason why referring to the three stories that we talked about earlier, why Tony Gordon sees so differently from the rest of us because of this quality. He has this quality which grants him a very empowering perspective, and he is very clear what it takes to do super production, to do high sales performance. All right. With this quality, Bob Proctor is able to appreciate the mystery that the top management is fighting hard to understand. With this quality, or rather with the lack of this quality, doesn't allow the people listening to the COT producer to benefit from his sharing. And in the same way, without this quality, the COT producer himself has trouble receiving from the TOT producer. So this quality is understanding. All right. Every one of us have a different level of understanding. In my mentoring program, 2 out of the 5 ultimates that I share with my mentees, there are 2 of them related to this. The first, I talk about the width of your understanding. I told them, what is your width? The width of your understanding. That means how wide is your understanding? So what I'm trying to communicate to them is your understanding can be very narrow, just like this, or it can be wider, or it can be very wide. So to the person who has a wider understanding, his life will be easier. He will enjoy his life better. He will get more sales easier. He will be able to connect with people faster, influence them easily, get sales quickly, so on and so forth. And that applies to every other area in life as well. All right. Whereas for the person who has a narrower understanding, and let's say, just as an example, let's say we use this as a reference where we say it's only so much. So what happens is that whatever that he or she understands based on this, he can only operate based on that. Anything outside of their understanding, he will have struggle. She will have struggle. So if you find yourself struggling in your selling, struggling in connecting with people, struggling with a lot of fears, struggling with a lot of anxieties, struggling with 1001 thing in life, right? Think about the width of your understanding. All right? Top producers simply has a wide understanding. Their understanding is wide. And because of that, they are able to have empowered perspective, and they are able to have very clear positions, clear visions, clear destinations, clear masteries, clear motivation, clarity in everything that they do. Okay, so that is the first thing about understanding that I want to talk about. The other thing that I'm talking about is the depth of your insight. First, the width of your understanding, then secondly, the depth of your insight. When I talk about the depth of your insight, I'm talking about how deep do you understand? How deep do you understand? For example, if we were to talk about, let's say, the quality of love. If we have understanding about love, if I have understanding about love, you have understanding about love, everyone have understanding about love, the topic about love, the theme on love. Not every one of us has the same depth of understanding in terms of the depth of the insight on love as each other. Okay? And that makes a great difference. If I have a level 10 understanding of love, I will be able to embrace it easily, quickly, and I will be able to use it and display it, practice compassion, empathy, grace, and love more easily than someone who has a level 3 understanding, of love. So level 3 understanding of love versus a level 10 understanding of love has a big difference. And all these point to the understanding that the person will have. All right? So remember, understanding is the fundamental key to give you the empowered perspective so that you can get clarity. And that allows you to become powerful. All right? Because now you know, you see it. You see it just like Tony Gordon. You understand that it is not the title behind your name that allows you to get $1 million round table. You understand. You are very clear. You know. You see it that way. What happens if you don't see it? If you don't see it, then you will be running for your titles. You will be trying to get your degrees and your masters, the academic achievement. Not that they are not good, but are you clear? Are you very clear what it takes for you to double your sales, triple your sales, earn more money, achieve the recognition that you want, achieve the autonomy, the lifestyle that you're hoping to have for you and your family? Are you very clear? Or are you not clear? You are just hoping, or just doing. In this lies the top producers versus the mediocre producers. So if you ever want to improve your production, to double it, triple it, quadruple it, yes, because it can be done. I've seen it so many times in our mentoring programs, in our mentees. The minute you are able to get the understanding, perspective, and clarity, you will jump. From $100 a month, you can collect $500 a month, just like that. All right? There's a 5-fold increase. We are not talking about a 10% increase. We are talking about a big jump, a quantum leap, a breakthrough. Okay? When you have understanding, you will not ask and say what the top management of the company say in Bob Proctor's experience, because it is no more a mystery. So to the people who feel that they do not know the reason why, and it is a mystery, you will not, because you are able to see clearly. You're able to understand the reason why he or she will still be the top producer as compared to the rest. Okay? And when you can do that, I want to suggest that personally for yourself, you can increase your performance anytime you want, as long as you are clear, as long as this is what you want to do. All right? And with regards to the last example, the third story, if you have the understanding, you will be able to catch what the COT producer is trying to say when he tells you all the things based on his sharing at the event. If the COT producer has the understanding, he will be able to get and receive from the top of the table producer. All right? And if things are so easy, then the COT producer probably wouldn't have made the statement. That means they didn't catch it. That means they didn't catch it, just like him. He didn't catch it. So can you imagine a top producer like a COT can miss it? Is there hope for the rest of us? He's COT, he's not $1 million round table. He's a COT producer, number one in the company. Okay? And well, today he's TOT after many years. Okay? But I want to suggest that there's an easier way to get your answers instead of waiting for time. Okay? Time is a great teacher. Time will teach us. Unfortunately, it kills all its students. By the time you get the answer, sometimes, oftentimes, it is just too late. Okay? So what I want to share with you is through this webinar to help you realize and be aware about the real situation that's affecting yourself and many others, or human beings in general. All right? Because we cannot understand. I don't even know what I don't know. I have no clue. So I will just do what everybody else is doing. If they say read the book, I read the book. If they say attend a meeting, I attend the meeting. If they say attend a congress, I attend a congress. If they say MDRT is good, I will try to set that as my goal. All right? Without seeing your problem clearly, without understanding, without having the empowered perspective and clarity, you are fighting the wind and you are going nowhere. So remember the questions that we talked about just now. How long have you been in the industry? How are your results right now? Are you happy with what you are performing? Okay, what we are really talking about here are honest answers, heartfelt answers to ourselves. If you're really happy and you've convinced yourself that what you are doing is enough, probably you do not need this webinar because you can just continue to do what you are contented with. All right. So one of the things that we do in our mentoring program is to impress onto people that there are potential within you waiting to be unlocked and unleashed. You do not even know the potential that you have, the true potential that you have. Oftentimes, we just accept what we are right now, living in our comfort zone, because maybe we do not know any way better, right? Because it's really not easy to get the CPU. It is really not easy. And as long as you don't get those qualities, those important qualities of high achievers and super producers, you will remain where you are. And for most people, they will just accept their lots, justify their way out of it, and convince themselves to be happy. All right? But we can do so much more. When you look at the top producer, think about the motivation that drives you just now when we flash the slides. All right? Will more money help you? Do you really want to get the recognition? What about the autonomy? What about the competition, the challenge? What about self-actualization, personal growth, self-expression, being the best that you can be, moving up the social ladder? There must be something that motivates you, just like something will motivate me. Without motivation, life is meaningless. There must be something that you want to go for. So what I want to encourage you is to seek those things. And there are answers to it, all right? In today's webinar, if there's something that I can leave with you, I would like to leave with you the fact that, yes, things are not easy to learn. And that's the reason why only a small percentage of people are truly successful. Things are really not easy to learn because it's so difficult to understand and to see clearly, to achieve clarity. It's so challenging, all right? But it can be done. And what I'm trying to give to you today, all right, if you can just understand this and begin to go and seek your answers, I'm sure you will get so much more things, right? But as far as your sales is concerned, do you want to reach your conventions? Is that a goal? How about your MDRT, your COT, and your TOT? Are these your priorities? You have to make them a priority in order for you to truly achieve the goals that you want. All right. But first, you must overcome the problem because you must first be aware that you do not know what you do not know. And that is a big, big problem because as long as we do not know, as long as we do not know what we do not know, we will remain in the ignorant stage and not doing anything about it. Okay? So see your blind spots. I call it your blind spots. There are blind spots in your life and my life, in different parts of our life, including the sales, career, and business that you are having. All right? They do not allow you to double your production or even to have a 10, 20% increase in your production. You are stuck where you are. All right? So seek the clarity, perspective, and understanding, and you will be on your way. All right. Very importantly, to achieve great performance in your sales advisory, not only you will need industry professional knowledge and product knowledge, most importantly and most powerfully, you need to know how you impact and influence your selling performance. What do I mean? Most importantly, more importantly and most powerfully, you need to know and understand that you impact and influence your selling performance the most. All right? The answer is found within you. The answer is not to be searched elsewhere, outside of you. The answers are within you. All right? It is about your understanding. It is about your perspective. It is about your clarity. Okay? And very quickly, I want to leave this with you. The achievement triangle. You need three things in order for you to truly achieve the success that you want to have. VKY. All right. The first is a vehicle. You need the vehicle. So for you, you have chosen sales advisory as your vehicle. Whether is it life insurance, financial planning, whether is it real estate, whether is it MLM, as long as you are in sales advisory, this is the vehicle you are using. This is the business model that you are tapping on in order to achieve your goals and dreams that will serve yourself and your family. All right. So the first thing is that you need to have a vehicle. The second thing is that you must have the professional knowledge with regards to the vehicle. So if you are a financial advisor, you need to know financial planning, insurance planning, retirement planning, children's education planning, maybe even business, key man insurance, so on and so forth. This is a specialized knowledge in your field, right? Just as that's another example. Let me get a water. If you are in the MLM industry, for instance, let's say in the health niche, You need to know about health. You need to know about your products. You need to know about the different facets about health, because it can be very wide, or it can be about beauty, or it can be about travel or whatever. So there is a professional knowledge that you need to have, okay, in the triangle. But finally, the final component is normally the one that make or break you. You understand what I'm trying to say? This final component is the one, the key to whether you ultimately will sell a lot or sell very little, whether you can sell or you can't sell, whether you are a high achiever or you're not a high achiever. Do you attain high great performance or you don't attain great performance? All right. All comes down to the final quality. So remember, if you do not know why you are not getting your desired outcomes, you will not be able to change your outcome, your current outcome. The solution is to begin to see and understand which part of your work in life is not taken care of correctly and make the necessary changes. And the minute you make the necessary changes, you begin to see immediate results. Okay, so